It's the first game and first win for Ruben Amorim under the Old Trafford floodlights. A much improved team performance, and there's a lot of change and tweak to the team. These are the takeaway from the game and a look ahead to the Sunday's game against Everton. Before we get into the video, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're 25 away from 100 subs, so let's get it, people. The first, number one, the experiment. It's my personal belief, and I think the belief of many of our Manchester United fans as well, that this manager is still trying to figure out who his best players are and what is the best position for these players. We're not under no illusion that he would know all of that by now, but it's gonna take him a bit of time in order to naturally know the midfield. We saw against Ipswich when he moved Bruno to central midfield area. And in this game, he started Bruno at centre midfield, Martinez at left centre back. It's not that Martinez can't play left centre back. I was just expecting from the training that we've seen for it to be like Luke Shaw in that position. But Martinez can also play left centre back, which is where it's put him. It just goes to show it is not afraid to change personnel to benefit the system. As long as the personnel can play in the position that he's putting them in, he's not afraid to put them there. And that's one thing that I like about this manager. You know, he knows the errors and the mistakes. When he sees it, he immediately makes changes. He finds solution for them within the game. If he's within the game, he'll find solution. Like I said, against Ipswich, he saw that there was something lacking in the midfield. There was overrunning us. So he moved Bruno into that central midfield position in the second half. So he's not afraid to make changes inside the game and also learning for the next game. So it's a learning curve for him as much as it is for the players as well. And then we saw Mazraoui playing right centre back. I mean, is there any position that this guy can't play? We've seen him play as a number 10. We've seen him at left back. We've seen him at right back. Now we're seeing him as one of the back three at the back. It just goes to show that he's got a high level of football intelligence or football IQ, which is good to see. Imagine having 10 of him, 10 of him and a keeper in the team. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, that is just an imagination. So, but yeah, it was also good to see Matthijs de Ligt as well in that position of the center of the three centre backs, receiving the ball and being able to pass out as well. So it was really, really interesting, and it was really good to see that as much as he's experimenting with his players, trying to find the best position and the best get the best out of their ability, it's still an experiment of him doing that. So we're still winning, and we're still seeing that there's still a level that these players and this system can go to, which is good to see. The second thing I want to talk about is the identity. Listen, it's clear to see from the jump. We saw that from the training, the first ever training they did, what the identity is going to look like. And then we went on to the first game against Ipswich, and we saw that as well, what it's going to look like. Do you know what I'm saying? So from the jump, this man already knew what he wanted to do. And from the first game, we saw it. There was no excuse. There was no excuse from him. There was no I don't have the right players to play the system, or I have to go buy players in order for me to play the system, or particularly my favorite one is I have to go back to Sporting and go get the players that I had at Sporting and bring them to Manchester United in order for me to be able to play the system that I started at Sporting. None of that. We have had no excuse from this manager. No excuse whatsoever. None of that excuses that board fraud Ten Hag was making when he arrived, and we wasn't seeing the things that he was doing, or the things that he said he was gonna do. You know, we was hoodwinked. To be fair, we was hoodwinked. We was sucker. We sucked. We fell for it. Basically, we fell for it. We fell for Eric Ten Hag. But yeah, so none of those excuses were being made. We are seeing the identity clearly. The style of play is clear. It's not under any illusion either, and is very much aware that a club the size of Manchester United needs to be winning. and we will get to the point where at some point just winning is not going to be enough, that we're going to need to perform as well. We're going to need performance to go with it too. And he's very clear about that, and he's not. He understands that. Do you know what I'm saying? He understands that that there has to be a performance in terms of the way we play. And then he said something. He went on to say something as well. That he went on to say, we have improved in different things from the last game that we had, which I agree with. Any Manchester United fan that saw the Ipswich game and then the Bordeaux game, there's a big difference between the two games. Big difference, and there's a lot of positives to take away from it. We see that even the players themselves, they had self-belief. There was some sort of self-belief within them, within the team. It was clear to see, to show as well. They were showing confidence, bouncing back after going 2-1 down, not letting their head drop to the point where we completely lose our focus or completely lose our structure. So yeah, it was good to see that they have a lot of mental improvement. Like the mental improvement is there that we can see. Improvement on the pitch as well is there as well. There's an improvement on the ball. Is much better tempo, and we was playing in the Bordeaux half. We was actually playing in the Bordeaux half, pushing the team higher and creating a lot of chances. And he was right when he said that we should have killed off the game before the end of the game. Yeah, we should have. Garnacho had many opportunities, but again, we're not gonna cry over spilled milk. We should have killed off that game. And we should have killed it off. But in the build-up against Ipswich, we saw that Matthias de Ligt alongside a DM. When we are building up play, Matthias de Ligt will push up into the midfield space, and then one of the DMs then push Aya, a more creative DM push Aya, and that's how we played against Ipswich. In this game against Bordeaux, it was actually totally different, where as a pivot, where in this double pivot, it was different. We had just one tweak where we saw Matthias de Ligt. He push up, and the both midfielders push up rather than one midfield pushing up. Both of the midfielders, midfield are pushing up. So we only had one single pivot in Matthias de Ligt when it was pushing up, and it was good to see that the manager is also making changes, being aware that a player like Matthias de Ligt has the capability of doing that, and that's the reason why he probably gave him that role of being of doing that. So basically, yeah, it was good to see that he was making different changes as the game was progressing, is learning from previous games and then applying those learned and implementing them into the next game, which is something that I'm really happy about, that everybody's watching and everybody's seeing as well. Before I forget as well, did you guys see the domination that we had in terms of the ball possession? We had 73% ball possession. I can't remember the last time Manchester United had 73% ball possession. 91% pass accuracy. We was pass accuracy of 91%. I'm looking forward to us getting better. That's all I can say. I'm just looking forward to us getting better and better as months to come, as the games come through. So we will be improving game by game. The third thing I want to talk about is Rasmus Højlund. He was clinical today, absolutely clinical. He was absolutely clinical, and that's what we need from our strikers. This is arguably, no, actually, it's not even arguably. It is his best performance. This is definitely his best performance in the Manchester United shirt. His work rate was never in doubt. His pressing, never in doubt. Even his pressing is what got us that first goal. He pressed the keeper. The keeper made a mistake. Garnacho was able to capitalize and score that first goal. So there's never been a doubt in his pressing. He got us the first goal, but his second and the third are what we need to do a lot more. He needs to do a lot more of that, which is get into the box. And I said this from last season when we got him as well. This guy needs service. He's a finisher. He's a guy that he'll finish his food. Just put it there for him. Put it on the table. He will finish it. He's a finisher. He just needs that. He needs that food to be put on the table. Put that food on the table for him, and he'll finish it. That's it. We just need a striker that's going to be getting into that box at the end of the crosses, getting on the end of the crosses, and that's what he's doing. And he just needs to keep doing that. As far as goes show his composure and control. It was in between two players. It was two defenders, by the way, two Bodo defenders. It was between two Bodo defenders, and he had the composure to control the ball when it was coming to him, and then finishing it off. So that's a lot. That's something that he needs to do a lot more of. He needs to be able to be more assured his hunger. He needs to show his hunger. The second, and I feel like the second goal kind of shows the epitome of what we're trying to say, which is that get into the box, be hungry to get and be willing to get into the end of the crosses when the crosses are coming in. That's what we're looking for from you. Get into the end of those crosses. Get the ball. Get in the box. Get into the end of the cross. Tap the ball, the goal in. Like I said, he's a finisher. He'll eat his food. Put on the plate for him. Put on the table. He'll eat it. You know, his older play is there as well. His older play is never been in question. It's never been a question for me. I feel like he's a good he can hold up the ball. His link up play as well, bringing in players. It's never been a question for me. It was just always about the goal. But I always said as well, if he gets his servicing, he'll get the goals. His 2 goals shows that if he gets service, he'll definitely get us goals. And if this is going to be the striker Amorim is, and I do feel like it's going to be the striker that Amorim is looking for. It's going to be our version of Victor Gyökeres. That's what I believe. If we can keep supplying him with the opportunity, I think it might be the answer to the question of goals. 3 goals, 1 assist in his last 5 in Europa League. 3 goals. Let me repeat that again. 3 goals, 1 assist in his last 5 in Europa League. That's fucking phenomenal. That's fantastic. 3 goals in 5 and an assist. So that's 4 goals assists in 5 games. Do you know what I'm saying? That he's got hands in 4 goals in 5 games. That's you can't ask for more unless you're looking to go by Erling Haaland or Victor Gyökeres, and those are the people that are doing that in the leagues right now, or in Europe, basically. So number 4, the 4th thing I wanted to talk about is the connection, the excitement, the joy. This man has returned to Old Trafford to the unmeasurable winning side. He's returned Old Trafford to full excitement. Everybody's excited. Fans, you can tell, you can hear the noise at the stadium on Thursday night. The noise, the atmosphere, it was bubbling. Everybody was up for it. That's an improvement that we can see from in our own in front of our very own eyes. It's something wonderful. We're not being fed bullshit. No one's telling us to wait and be patient. We know that we have to wait and be patient. We know this, and we're giving this manager every opportunity, and we're going to give him every opportunity. As fans, we have to be patient. We know that. The love shown to this manager, the love shown from the fans, from the fan base, actually, is magnificent to see. Amorim was talking about it. He was talking about how, on the pitch side interview, how it feels like he's at home. If he feels at home, and we are happy for him to be here. We're happy for him to feel for him feeling that way, and we want to carry on to make him feel that way, because he's a manager that is worth backing. Is a manager that hasn't waffled, hasn't feel there's no bullshit. As fans, he understands the game because he's played. He understands the players because they're similar in age, in age, and the era that we're in right now is he's young enough but old enough as well to be able to understand the era of football and the era that these young players that we have at Manchester United are currently in. So yeah, it was obviously and definitely wonderful to see. So those are the first things that I took away from the game with Bordeaux at Old Trafford. So our next game is at home against Everton. We're going to be playing against Everton, and they are 2 places below us. in the league. They're 15th. Oh no, they're 3 places below us in the league. Actually, they're 15th. They've drawn 3, lost 1, and won 1 in their last 5 games. So again, it's gonna be a tricky game at Old Trafford, but another one I expect us to win. The only difficulty that I see in this game is the one that we create for ourselves. I think only Manchester United can beat Manchester United when it comes to games like this. And the only thing that I think might affect us is not yet used to the system. Not yet used to the system. Playing against Bodo in Europe is different to playing against Everton in the Premier League. 2 different teams. Everton clearly are much of a better team than they are. So we need to be a bit more careful in regards to how we play. We need to be more we need to show more authority. We need to show more strength. Basically, we need to be more aggressive. And I'm not saying aggressive in terms of breaking people's leg, but aggressive and in terms of how we play the game, letting them know that listen, this is a different Old Trafford. Eric Ten Fraud is no longer here.